Hi everyone, welcome back. Mr. Allen here. Just thought I'd quickly show you what we're looking for with the Monte Carlo simulation, the 3-coin simulation. So the key here is to recognize what the simulation should do is represent an experiment that I could do in the real world. So theoretically, I could pick up 3 coins and I could flip them and I could record how many heads, how many tails I get. So in the first case here, let's pretend I flipped 3 coins. I got tails every time. And so I've got 0 heads on this one flip, or 3 tails. If I wanted to include it as a second column, I could do that. The next time I flip again, I get 1 head and 1 head and 2 tails, and so on. And then basically, as I go through this, I just kind of flip and I record, flip and I record, and flip and record. In the end, what I'm interested in is how many times did I get exactly 3 heads or exactly 3 tails. And so once I've done this hundreds or thousands of times, I could go down my list and say, oh, well, there was 3 heads that time, so I'll record it over here. So this is a secondary table where I've recorded how many times did I flip exactly 3 heads. Well, it happened once there, it happened once there, it happened once there, and so on. And then I also need to know how many times did I flip 3 tails. Well, 0 heads represents 3 tails, so I can count that. There we go. There we go, and so on. This is what our Monte Carlo simulation should be doing for us. So I've kind of got, again, a fake setup here. The calculations I've switched up so they don't represent exactly what you should be seeing, but this is what you're looking to do. You're looking to represent 3 coins on your page, and that's that ran between equation that you should have seen in the other video. And once you've typed it once, again, copy, paste it to all the other spots. So I can Control C for copy, I can use my mouse to highlight, and I can paste. All those spots now have that same equation. Okay, so this is really important. You don't want to be rewriting this equation because you do need to do this hundreds or again thousands of times. Once you have that done, then you'll figure out an equation to represent the number of heads. You type it in once, copy, paste it all the way down your column. Once you have the heads recorded, again, it's just like if I was doing it on paper. I've got a list here of how many heads was flipped on each turn. And now I'm going to go down that list and count up how many times was it 3, how many times was it 0. And then the total is basically just these 2 values added together. I'm trying to figure out in the end what is the probability of getting all 3 coins to be the same. And so right now it's 12 out of 50. Oh goodness, that's not quite right, the right number there. But basically I'll do the calculation here that does this division. I guess I could actually fix that. It should be pretty obvious what that one is. So I'm essentially dividing this number by this number and representing it as a percentage. According to my calculations, 7 out of the 50 times I tried this, I flipped 3 heads. 3 out of the 50 times I tried this, I flipped 3 tails. And so 10 of the 50 turns, basically, trials is the proper mathematical term. In 10 out of those 50 trials, I got all 3 flips the same, and that's represented by 20%. Now, the thing to note here is right now I've made 50 trials, 50 attempts essentially at flipping 3 coins. If I press F9, I can't do it because I'm recording with the screen, the F9 is kind of being used somewhere else, but if I were to just, if I run this a few times, you'll notice that the values that I'm getting here, I had an 11 up there, I have an 18, I have a 13, my totals are pretty inconsistent, and my probabilities therefore are pretty inconsistent. What I want is to make sure that when I'm running this, I'm getting a very consistent value. Right now, it's just kind of dumb luck that I got 28% on this roll. But if I have enough attempts, all that dumb luck kind of factors out. So what I'm going to do here is highlight the cells that I'm interested in. I'm going to hold my Shift key, highlight those, Control C to copy, and then again, hold the Shift key and page down, and it should allow me to pretty quickly copy this down to many, many, many cells. Now, I can stop at any point in time, Control V to paste. Old machine's going to take a little bit of time, but a new machine should be a little bit quicker. There we go. And now when I come up here, I can see that I've got 6,000 trials. I've got 1,492 where I ended up with the three heads or three tails, and it's averaging out to about 24.5%. If I do run this a few times, which you can sort of see as my probability is now much more consistent, it's right around that 25%. If I can get it to the point where I've got it within about 1 percentage point, 24s, 25s, 26s have been pretty consistent here, then I'm deciding that I'm happy with that consistency. It looks like around 25%, 25.5% probably is a pretty good guess as to what my value would be. So again, the 25% is not the right number. It's what I'm getting from my adjusted formulas, but what you're trying to do in the end is get a probability there that is consistent, so that you can say in the end, it looks like if you flip three coins, you'll get three heads or three tails about X percentage of the time. So this is what your program should look like. It shouldn't say fake because yours should be better numbers than mine, but this is the basic layout of what you're trying to do. Again, to try to represent exactly what you would do if you were literally sitting down and flipping three coins. I flip the three coins, I record the number of heads, and I do it again. And I do it again until I've got hundreds or thousands of attempts. Then I count up how many times was I successful in getting three heads, how many times was I successful in getting three tails, what's the total number of times that I got exactly three the same. As a percentage, that is, and then I'm done. So hopefully that helps to clarify what a Monte Carlo simulation looks like. You've seen a couple now. The other video had a similar idea, but this one should give you a pretty good idea of what you're trying to get done on this first one yourself.